Good morning. Welcome to the Saw Shop. Who's the king of the 50cc world? That's what we're gonna talk about today. I'm gonna give my opinions. We're gonna get out and run these saws. Let you know what what I think. First off, before I introduce any of the saws, as you can see, these are all different bars. These are all different variations of chain. Most of them are these are Huskies. This is Echo. All these are steel chains. But in some cases, like a couple of these, 3 of these are semi-chiseled, the other 3 are full chisel. But here's kind of what is, I do that for application purposes, and I've talked about that in a different video, so you can go check that one out. But I want to introduce these things, and they got different length bars as well, because that's for application as well. But I want to run them the way I would run them, and probably the way a lot of people will actually set these up. So, Steel 026 down here on the end. This is a saw that I completely rebuilt. It was blowed up, had bad crank bearings and everything. I took it completely apart, brought it back together. It's all OEM. It's ported muffler, running a 16-inch bar, full chisel steel chain. This one is a newer Stihl MS261. Stock cylinder head, ported muffler, retuned the carb, 20-inch bar, full chisel chain. Actually, no, semi-chisel chain. And then this one is a Stihl MS261C, ported cylinder head, ported muffler, 20-inch bar, steel full chisel chain. This is an Echo CS4910, 18-inch bar, and it is ported. Muffler's been modified as well. This is a Husky 550 XP Mark II. 20-inch bar, semi-chisel chain, stock cylinder head, ported muffler, and this is the auto tune. And we have a Husqvarna 545 Professional Mark II, 20-inch bar, semi-chisel chain, stock cylinder head, ported muffler, auto tune. So that's what we're going to be running today. So just on first glance, what you say, what do you like? Well, I like them all, that's why I got them. But there's a couple that really stand out to me just cause one's probably one of the faster ones, and one is one that I like the torque curve on, and I like the way it cuts. And then one's definitely the lightest. So, probably the one that I like that's on the faster side is not the fastest on this table, but is this Stihl MS261C. A fairly light chainsaw, M-tronic, so it tunes well. It's really strong because it's fully ported now. It's a good cutter. You say, why that over this 550? Well, I just like the 550 is great too. It's just a little heavier, and normally I tend to grab this one. I love the 550. It is the fastest saw on this table. There's no doubt in that. Even this imported might run with it, but in stock form like this one and this one here, this is definitely a faster chainsaw. But, so that would be the one of my faster saws that I would go with here. And then the one that I like that's probably more I like the torque curve on it for firewood cutting, and I like how smooth it is and just how easy it runs and those kind of things. Believe it or not, this is 545 Professional down here. It's not as violent and peaky in the torque range as the 550 is. It's got a way broader torque band, and when you're firewood cutting, it ain't always about power. It's about when you throw the dogs in, how does it just keep going? Can you just keep constant pressure on it, or are you having to feather it down through there? And that's really the difference, I think, in a 545 and 550. 550 is stronger. The 545 has a better torque band for firewood cutting. So that's that. And then the one that if I had to just pick up a saw and go all day long, and I was going to be toting 8 or 10 hours a day, it'd be this Echo right here. This 4910. It is lighter than the rest of these saws. It's probably one of the lightest 50cc. I mean, I know it's the lightest 50cc chainsaw I've ever had. And I mean, this thing is built on the same chassis as like their CS4. I mean, it's in that same size, makeup, same weight, and same dimensions. It ain't the same case because those are clamshells, but as like Echo's 4010, CS400, even their 3410, their 3510, they're all this size. So where those are 35 and 40cc, this is a 50cc and it's still in the same size package. And so, I mean, this thing weighs hardly nothing. I mean, probably bar, chain, and everything, it's probably in the 11.5 pound range. I ain't weighed it, but it's definitely lighter than these others. But anyway, that's my preference. I've used all these a lot. As you can tell, they've all been used. They've all had, this is the newest one I've had. I had it on the channel just a couple months ago. I probably now have run about 5 tanks out of this saw, so it's now probably just now getting the ring set in good. But the rest of these, this is a brand new build, but it's got a lot of hours. I mean, the saw has been, and I probably have put 2 tanks through this one since it was built with new rings and everything, so it's probably not as broken as this one. This one has about 10 tanks. This one probably has about 25 tanks. This one has probably about 10 tanks, and this one probably has about 25 to 30 tanks on it. And as you see, that you say, well, ain't none of them got a lot of tanks on them. Well, I turn my saws over pretty quick, and I'll probably stay with these a while because I've got some that I really like here. So anyway, we're gonna I'm gonna cut this video off. I'm gonna get everything, make sure we got fuel and oil and everything, and I'll see you at the wood yard. All right, have a good one. All right, we got a Stihl 026 ported muffler, ported cylinder head, rebuilt carb, tuned, everything. It's ready to go. Fresh rebuild. We got a Stihl MS261, that stock cylinder head, ported muffler, retuned carb. Alright, we got a Stihl MS261C, ported cylinder head, ported muffler, M-Tronic. Echo CS 4910, ported cylinder head, ported muffler, a modified intake boot, retuned carb. Okay, Husqvarna 550 XP Mark II. It is a stock cylinder head, ported muffler, M-Tronic. All right, we got a Husqvarna 545 Professional.